Are we really able to identify the beast, the Antichrist of Revelation 13? Here's my take. Revelation 13 gives us an unfolding story. Let's read about the story of the beast and see if we can identify some identification marks. Then we know what to look for in history if we're going to try to pinpoint it to a movement or a person. Let's read the story of Revelation 12 and 13. In Revelation 12, we read of the dragon, the devil, who has 7 heads and 10 horns. He tries to kill Jesus at his birth, fails, verses 1 to 6. Then he tries to kill Jesus at the cross, fails, that's verses 7 to 13. Then he goes after the followers of Jesus, the woman who God protects, sends her into the wilderness. Can't kill her. Tried to make war with Jesus at his birth, at the cross. Tries to make war with the woman as God protects her after the resurrection of Jesus. He fails. Now he's really angry. He keeps failing at his attempted warfare. And at the end of time, he changes his strategy. If I can't beat him, join him. And now we find the rise of the Antichrist. He comes up out of the sea. And he looks just like the dragon. This is the son, the spawn, the seed of the devil. Remember that in Revelation 12, 3 or 4, the dragon has 7 heads and 10 horns. And now he goes right to the end of time and he says, I'm going to kill these followers of Jesus, but I'm going to kill them by tricking them. I'm going to pose as God. The dragon poses as the Father and the sea beast will pose as the Son. So now we've got counterfeit deception of a high order to trick people on earth to worship them. And then he'll return back to the war and persecution. But he'll start his plan of deception first. Revelation 12, 17 and 13:1. Look how these nicely flow into one another. And the dragon became angry at the woman. Who's the woman? We'll see. Angry at the woman. And he went to make war against the rest of her seed, the descendants, the ones keeping the commandments of God and holding to the testimony of Jesus. Well, if they're obeying the commandments of God and holding to their testimony about Jesus, these are human beings, these are Christians. Their testimony of Jesus is what? The gospel message they're preaching about Jesus. Satan is angry with the gospel preachers, those who hold to their testimony of Jesus. And he was angry with them. And verse 18 says, and he stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast coming up out of the sea in 13:1, having 10 horns and 7 heads. But the dragon had 10 horns and 7 heads. And now the sea beast has 7 heads and 10 horns. They look the same. The sea beast looks like the dragon. John is going to describe a counterfeit, copycat, parody. The dragon is going to pose as the Father, and the sea beast is going to pose as Jesus. And the parallels are completely uncanny. The dragon has 7 heads, 10 horns. The sea beast has 7 heads and 10 horns. And Jesus said, he who has seen the Father has seen me. And he who has seen me has seen the Father. They look the same. Now, note all the points of contact and parallels between the sea beast and Jesus. Let's keep reading. Revelation chapter 13 and verse, let's have a look. Verse 2 talks about he looks like a lion, a bear, etc. And then the second half of verse 2, it says this, and the dragon gave him his power and his throne and his great authority. The dragon gives his authority to the beast that looks just like him. What did Jesus say at the end of Matthew chapter 28, verse 20? All authority has been given to me in heaven and on earth. Who gave Jesus his authority? The Father. Just as the Father gives the Son his authority, the dragon gives his authority to the beast. They look the same, transfer of authority, and it doesn't end there. Have a look at verse 5. And a mouth was given to the beast, speaking great things and blasphemies, and authority to act for 42 months was given to him. Satan gave him authority to act for 42 months. 42 months is 3.5 years. How long was Jesus' ministry? 3.5 years. He was authorized and anointed by the Holy Spirit at his baptism, and his ministry as Messiah began. 42 months, 3.5 years. My goodness. They look the same, transfer of authority, and now a 42-month ministry. The Antichrist is going to say, I am Jesus. I have returned. If these messages are blessing you, please consider giving a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notifications button. This will trigger YouTube to sending messages like these all around the world. God bless you. Wow. The devil now calls up his son. Go and copy Jesus. I want to be worshipped. I will be like the Most High. Watch this. Look at the next point of contact. Verse 3. And I saw one of the beast's heads as if have been slain. The beast is slain. Note the word slain. This verse, this word, only ever applies to Jesus. The word killed appears many times, different Greek word in Revelation, but the word slain applies just to Jesus. Look at verse 3 again. And I saw one of his heads as if having been slain to death, and his wound of death was cured, and the whole earth was caused to marvel, while following after the beast. 42-month ministry. Dies, is slain, comes back to life, resurrection. And then the world follows the beast that died and came back to life again. And the gospel, after the resurrection of Jesus, has been going out throughout the whole world. And the followers of Jesus now number 5 or 6 billion around the world. The beast will look just like Jesus. The devil couldn't kill them, and now he tries to deceive them. The devil poses as the Father, and the beast poses as Jesus. I mentioned the word slain, that the beast is slain, and he comes back to life again. Look at verse 8. And all the ones dwelling on the earth will worship the beast, each whose name has not been written in the book of the life of the Lamb who was slain. The Lamb who was slain since the foundation of the world. The word slain in the book of Revelation, the word killed appears, and it's a completely different word, but the word slain applies to the slain lamb. And the beast copycats Jesus. I am the slain lamb. The word slain applies only to the cross, to the lamb. And now it's applied to the beast. We are looking for an Antichrist who will come. 42-month ministry, dies, comes back to life again. And then the world is shocked by this death and resurrection and follows after the beast. The Antichrist is going to look just like Jesus. Point for point. Notice the religious, spiritual flavour of all this? Yeah? And it says in verse 4, and they gave worship to the dragon because he gave authority to the beast. And they gave worship to the beast, saying, who is like the beast? Who can wage war against him? Worship. That's what the devil wanted right from the beginning. He wants worship. Well, if I'm going to be worshipped, they're going to have to believe that I am God. And that you are my son. Copycat time, parody, deception, high order. I can't kill them, so I'll trick them. Deception. And it doesn't end there. Because it says in verse 4 and on, and verse 7, we'll read the following, yeah? Look at verse 4. And they gave worship to the dragon because he gave authority to the beast. And they gave worship to the beast, saying, who is like the beast? Who can wage war against him? That is taken, that statement about who is like the beast, who can wage war against him, is taken from the book of Exodus. When the Israelites were taken out from Egypt and the Red Sea came down, and they said, who is like the Lord? Who can wage war against our God? Titles made to Yahweh are applied now to the beast. Wow. Severe, high order deception. And then we'll return to war in verse 7. And authority was given to the beast to make war against the saints and to overcome them. That's the war of chapter 12. We've come back there again. Satan wants to kill those who hold to their testimony about Jesus, those who preach the gospel. And if I can't kill them, I'll trick the whole world and then I'll kill them. The final battle is warfare over worship. Deception and counterfeit is used in this warfare. But it's a warfare over worship. This is not a political battle at all. It's a spiritual battle. And we'll get that next time. God bless you.